Okay, question. What type of element, metal or non-metal, tends to form cations? What type of element tends to form anions? Metals, the first part, metals tend to form cations, and non-metals tend to form anions. Okay, you have another key concept. How do polyatomic ions differ from monatomic ions? How are they different? You will see this in your book. Unlike a monatomic ion, a polyatomic ion is composed of more than one atom. But like a monatomic ion, a polyatomic ion behaves as a unit and carries a charge. The sulfate ion consists of one sulfur atom, and 4 oxygen atoms. These 5 atoms you have to add over here. You have 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen. Both symbols of the periodic table, sulfur and oxygen, were with the balance with 2 negative charge. So the formula with these polyatomic ions is S, the sulfur, O, and remember there are 4 atoms of oxygen, and the charge for these 2 polyatomic ions is -2, or 2 negative charge. Okay, over here is kind of an example you have in your book, and this table is you have some common polyatomic ions. You have with the charge negative, 1 negative, 2 negative, 3 negative charge, and a positive charge. And you have the formula. Over here you have a hydrogen, it's a polyatomic ions, and sulfate, you have a NO2 negative, you have nitrate, and you have another examples over here of polyatomic ions. Over here, the names and formula of some common polyatomic ions are shown here. It's over here in the table. Note that the name of most polyatomic ions end in ITE or ATE. Is depend the charge of the polyatomic ion. Okay. Next, okay, we're gonna continue with this. Sometimes the same 2 or 3 elements combine in different radius to form different polyatomic ions. Look for pairs of ions for which there is both an ITE and an ATE ending. For example, sulfite and sulfate. Over here you have the charge -2. Okay, you see the difference is in oxygen. Over here we have 3 atoms of oxygen. We call sulfite. The last part of the name is with ITE. And you have to compare these 2 polyatomic ions. The difference is the atom of oxygen. In this case is the upper number is 4. In this case we call sulfite. The ending is ATE. Okay, polyatomic ions. Note the number of oxygen atoms and the endings of each name. You should be able to discern a pattern in the naming convection. With ITE, take a look over here. You have sulfur and oxygen. 1 atom of sulfur, and 3 atoms of oxygen. Over here you have the same sulfur with an atom, and the difference with oxygen, 3 atoms over here and 4 atoms over here with the same charge. In this case -2 charge. The difference is oxygen. Remember the atom of oxygen. Over here with 3 atoms of oxygen we call that sulfite. With the last part with ITE, and over here you have 4 atoms of oxygen. The last part of the name is ATE, and you have another examples over here. Okay, the charge we are continuing with polyatomic ions. The charge is the same of each polyatomic ion in a pair for which there is both an ITE and ATE ion. The ITE ending indicates just 1 less oxygen atom than the ATE ending. The ND does not tell you the actual number of oxygen atoms in the ion. Over here you have an example again. In the back page you have another examples. Okay, you have some examples over here. I bring it for you guys. Just take a look. Another examples. And compare and contrast the ATE and ITE version of polyatomic ion. It's a kind of checkpoint. Okay, remember this. Compare. Both made using the same element with the same ion charge. Okay? There are two, like a sulfur and oxygen work with the same charge. In that case is -2. Contrast. ATE has one more oxygen atom than the ITE version. Remember that. Okay, another key questions. When the metals in group 1A, 2A, and 3A lose electrons, they form cations with positive charge equal to their group number. Another key concept, the charge of the cations of many transition metal ions must be determined from the number of electron lost. Okay, the charge, another key question, the charge of any ions of a group 8 non-metal is determined by subtracting 8, remember that number, 8 from the group number. Another key question, unlike a monatomic ion, a polyatomic ion is composed of more than one atom. But like a monatomic ion, a polyatomic ion behaves as a unit and carries a charge. Okay, with this, guys, we're gonna finish the lesson. Remember, guys, you have to work in the activities for this Friday, April 3. You have to complete the appendix. I would all these activities I sent to you in the homework sheet. Try to look the homework sheet maybe today or tomorrow. Remember, you have to work until this Friday before 10 o'clock. This Friday, April 3. The value of all this activity, that means 10 points. So guys, we see you around. Be nice. Take care. Bye.